You know who I am and you know why I'm here, so let's get started. First Blu-ray is Dog Day Afternoon, which I've heard is supposed to be a classic. I've not actually watched it yet, but yeah. This is apparently the 40th anniversary edition. And it's the disc. Here's an ultraviolet code, which you can use that code all you like. Actually, you can't, because look at when it expired. And keep in mind, I got this in April 2019, so what the fuck? I don't get why ultraviolet codes always have to have a fucking expiration date on them. I mean, why? I mean, I can still watch the Blu-ray just fine, you know, because that doesn't have an expiration date. Why does the ultraviolet code have to have one? There's no excuse, especially if you're like me and you bought this years after it was originally printed, because otherwise, if you buy this Blu-ray a little past that date in 2018, you've essentially just got a nice scrap bit of paper. Although it's not as bad as when they used to do with certain Blu-rays and DVDs, when they'd do a digital copy and they'd literally give you like a DVD, not a normal DVD, not one that you can watch on your TV or something, just a disc that has a thing that you activate using a code. But if that code is expired, then you've essentially just got a really nice coaster, because you can't use that disc for anything else anymore. Just why? I'll stop on that. I'll kind of continue with that tangent. Next one is the XFiles, I Want to Believe. This is the second XFiles film after Fight the Future. This came out about a decade later or so. And before I watched this film, I'd heard very bad things about it. You know, I've heard it kind of... the best criticism I'd heard from it is it's average to worst absolute dog crap. So I went into this with very, very low expectations, and it honestly wasn't that bad, you know. I mean, sure, it's not as good as the first X-Files film, but still, it's decent enough. I mean, I can see why people don't like it, you know, with the criticism such, like, for example, it doesn't really answer many of the questions that were left by the series finale, which, you know, to be honest, this was a good chance for them to do that, but they didn't. And apparently this one has a BD Live feature right there, which was some kind of thing where you put your Blu-ray on the internet or something and you can access certain bonus features and such. I don't think it caught on, because I don't think any new Blu-rays I've got have BD Live features on them. And apparently this one, if it'll focus, yeah, the BD Live features expired in 2009. So yeah, and there's the disc. And interestingly enough, this is the only X-Files Blu-ray I've got which is sort of region locked. The series and Fight the Future are region 3, or A, B and C. This one's only B and C. I know B is the UK and Australia's region. I'm not sure what C is compatible with. I mean, Blu-ray region coding isn't as bad as DVD region coding, where the amount of region codes on a DVD, it was taking the piss. I don't even know why region coding exists in the first place. And with Blu-ray it seemed more redundant because HD is a worldwide standard, so why does it need region coding? It's some crap about protection and blocking certain features. Crap. Rubbish. Anyway, I'll continue. Next Blu-ray is Django Unchained. I really only ignore that, it's just the phone. I really only got this for completionist sakes, because I want to try and get every Quentin Tarantino film. And I only got this to complete the Tarantino collection, and this is going to be a controversial opinion. It's not that good. Honestly, I've seen it once, and I mean, there's things I like about it, like Leonardo DiCaprio's good in it, Christoph Waltz, Jamie Foxx, but and I like some of the ideas in it and such, but it's the runtime that kills it. It's too long. I mean, there's some long films I like Scarface, for example, but this one, it just needed trimming down, you know, because there's just things like near the first hour and the second hour just drag, you know, they're not very interesting, with the exception of a few bits. The second hour is very good though. And also this one mentions it has an ultraviolet code with it, which expired all the way back in 2015. But if you're looking here, unlike Dog Day Afternoon, they were actually wise enough to not print another code with it. So you don't get a scrap piece of paper with this, which is nice. And also another thing that's nice is you get artwork inside. And the next one is from Django Unchained. It's The Hateful Eight, which I've heard, which I definitely know is divisive among Tarantino fans. Some people like it, some people aren't too keen on it, but it's good. Honestly, it's not that bad. You know, I've seen worse. It's not his strongest film. You know, I'd go for like Inglourious Bastards or Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs. I'd rate them over this, but still, yeah, it's good. It's good fun. And look at how pathetic those bonus features are. Shameful. You know, if you compare it to something like Reservoir Dogs bonus features or Pulp Fiction's features on their Blu-rays, you know, it's pathetic, but I suppose that's kind of things with physical media nowadays. They don't put much effort, mainly because a lot of people stream their content, so they don't put as much effort into their bonus features. You know, this isn't the heyday of DVD when you get like 2-disc editions were the norm, and you get God knows how many bonus features, which many of those DVDs are now repackaged as 1-disc sets, so you don't get any bonus features, which is a real piss take. Anyway, there's the disc, and also it came with a slip cover, which I don't like slip covers. It's not a particularly like revelationary thing to say, but what's the point of them? You know, they're not. I mean, the case. I mean, this case is fine as it is. You know, it doesn't need any further protection, and it makes it hard, and it creates an extra task to do to get to watch this film, and the artwork's the same. If the artwork was different, then I'd give it a pass, but no, it's the same. Pathetic. Now we move on to the DVDs. The first one is Mallrats, which is Kevin Smith's second film. There is a Blu Ray out of this, but annoyingly, the UK Blu Ray has no bonus features on it. Absolutely nothing. DVD does. How stupid is that, you know? I mean, they could just port the extras over to the Blu-ray. I mean, I don't care if they don't add any new content to the Blu-ray, but at least give us the content that was previously available on an inferior format. Why not bother? And what makes it even funnier is you can't make the excuse that it's costly to print extra discs. You know, first off, Blu-ray has much bigger capacity than a DVD does, so you can fit virtually 2 even 3 discs worth of extras onto a single Blu-ray disc without any risk of quality loss. And this is a 1-disc set, so absolutely pathetic excuse for the Blu-ray. The next 3 are John Shuttleworth DVDs. I've got 500 Bus Stops. Next one is, but this one is Euro Pigeon. This was sort of a made-for-TV movie. Not really a made-for-TV movie. I mean, it's not feature length or anything. It's kind of like a TV special per se. It's only about 40 odd minutes, and it's John Shuttleworth's ill-fated attempts to try and enter the Eurovision Song Contest with his song Pigeons in Flight. I want to see you tonight. I'm not going to sing it, but yeah, but this one is well worth watching, well worth tracking down. There's the disc, and here's a bit inside. John Shuttleworth with former UK Eurovision contestants from left to right. Calder Rogers, Catteran and Carol Baker. And you can see that slightly better now. So yeah. And then the next 2 John Shuttleworth ones are his 2 films, starting with It's Not Up North. Can't see the title, but this was John Shuttleworth trying to test his theory out that the further north you get in England, the nicer people get. And it's really well worth watching, really funny. And most of it actually does feel like a real... most of it is actually shot like a real documentary. Because apparently, with the exception of Graham Fellows, who is John Shuttleworth and what's her face? What the hell's her name? Elmer Johnson. Most of the people he interviews, you know, it's unscripted, most of it, and you know, most of the people he interviewed, you know, just casual people on like the Shetland Islands and such. But yeah, it is well worth watching. That's a bit of a piss take, isn't it? Not really, because I mean it's not listed as a bonus feature, but interactive and relaxing menus. God, yeah, it's kind of one of those things, in particular on very old DVDs, when they'd list like scene selection, interactive menus as special features. They're not special features. Every DVD has them. They're not that special. But anyway, there's the disc. And there's the chapter sheet, which you don't get on DVDs anymore either. And then the second one is Southern Softies, which tests his other theory that the further south you get, the softer people get. And this one, it has a different feel to it. It's Nice Up North. It's Nice Up North felt more like a documentary. This felt more like a comedy drama. You know, because with the plot of his useless sole agent Ken Worthington going AWOL and so on. You know, there's certain elements in it, and it's essentially more about him trying to make the documentary as opposed to the documentary itself. And I don't think it's as good as It's Nice Up North, but it's still well worth watching. And also, once again, interactive and relaxing menus. There's the chapter sheet, there's the discs with much fewer chapters than It's Nice Up North, even though their runtime is match, if I can show you. Yeah, see? Runtime is match. The The third to last DVD is a box set, and it is the complete series of the Lone Gunman. Now this was a... Sorry about this, I'm just trying to reposition the camera. This was a spin-off show to the X-Files, which centred on these three characters, the sort of the hacker group on the X-Files. And this one was more light-hearted in nature than the X-Files was. And it only lasted for about a season, and they only made about 13 episodes. But I haven't got around to watching it yet, because I've still got the X-Files to finish, because I've nearly finished it. I'm just started season 10, so... Also known as the event series. So you get this thing right here, which is just like a mini episode guide. And this one also features the X-Files episode Jump the Shark, which resolves one of the cliffhangers in one of the episodes, because the series didn't last that long to resolve its cliffhanger in its own series, so they had to use the X-Files to resolve that cliffhanger. And here's a bit of a spoiler and something that's really shitty. They killed them off at the end of Jump the Shark. They killed off the three characters, essentially it's kind of like saying fuck you to the audience, which was kind of a thing with the end of season 9. So, but yeah, that's kind of a rant for another day. Anyway, you get disc 1 there, disc 2, and disc 3. Oh, right. And an interesting piece of trivia as well. The first episode, which aired in March 2001, and the plot involves the US government hijacking an aircraft with a remote control and flying it into the World Trade Center, and then blaming the act on terrorists. So they can up their arms deals. They can go to war for their own sinister agendas. And this came out about 6 months before 9/11, so very interesting, kind of it. And I don't think this directly sparked, the conspiracies about 9/11, that the US government planned it all along. It had nothing to do with terrorists, but I'm not going to bring my forte into that issue at the moment. And then the final two are both Doctor Who DVDs. Now, I haven't bought a Doctor Who DVD in nearly a year, because I just kind of lost interest in the series. That's why for like a year you haven't seen any Doctor Who related content on this channel. And it took me up until like a week ago to finally watch the Key to Time episodes. But I got 2 more. First one is William Hartnell one, Planet of Giants. And the next one is John Pertwee one, The Mutants. I really only got The Mutants because I've nearly finished the Pertwee collection. I've only got the Time Monster left to get, which is in Myths and Legends. But I'm kind of wary of Myths and Legends because most of the stories I've heard are meant to be crap in it, including the Time Monster. And this one's supposed to be crap as well. From a lot of people, some people say it's okay, some people say it's absolute crap. So I'm going to go into it with monstrously low expectations, and I might actually find some entertainment value out of it. This one comes with 2 discs. Okay, so that's it. That is everything. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.